Today we gather on the land of the Kamilaroi Nation. We therefore need to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of this land. We also pay our respects to the Aboriginal elders, both past and present, and further extend that respect to other adults who have joined us today. Council prayer. Lord, we ask you to watch over this council, guide us in our deliberations and decisions for the betterment of all the people of our Shire and our Australia. Amen. Thank you, Council.
Amen.
Okay, we'll lag along a little bit and hopefully we'll get Councillor Hawkins in. So I'll do a roll call first of all. Councillor Moles.
Present.
Councillor Cudmore.
Present.
Councillor Black.
Present.
Councillor Lobsey.
I'd like a present too, thanks.
Councillor Webster.
Present.
Donna Osmond, Director of Environmental Services.
Present.
Joanne Sangster, General Manager.
Present.
Rodney Batterham, Director of Engineering Services. Present. We also have Kian Middleton and Raju, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name. Goirala from Finance, present as well.
Finance Manager.
Finance Manager. So somebody would be happy to move that everybody's present.
Move.
Happy to move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you,
Councillor Moles.
Is that Councillor Black with a second?
Yes.
All those in favour?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, audio recordings of the meetings. Councillor Hawkins is now online.
Yes.
Thank you, Councillor Hawkins. The audio recordings of the meetings. Consistent with section 747A of the Local Government Act 1993 and the Public Health Act COVID-19 Gatherings, Order 2020, this meeting of Liverpool Plains Shire Council is being held remotely using audio and visual links. As with ordinary meetings conducted in person, Council's Code of Meeting Practice applies to today's proceedings. A webcast of this meeting will be published Council's website at lpsc.newsouthwales.gov.au so that it is available for viewing by members of the public. While section 747A of the Act and the Public Health Order remains in force, Council will not be facilitating a public forum. During this period, members of the public can still provide feedback on matters being considered by Council by providing submissions and comment via email. For further information about Council's meetings, please visit Council's website at lpsc.newsouthwales.gov.au. Okay, I would like to just lay out how we're going to do this today. We'll do it as we did before. I'll read any recommendations out. I will then ask for a councillor to move it and a councillor to second to it, and then I'll do a roll call through on who wishes to speak so we can try and keep it clear and audible for the community. Can you just be mindful, it takes about 2 or 3 seconds from when you talk till the community can hear you. So I suggest you open up by saying, good afternoon, it's councillor and your name. And by that time you should be on the screen and the community will be able to see you. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is apologies and applications for leave of absence by councillors. And I believe we have none, so we will move on. The second item is disclosures of interest. Is there any councillors or staff that have any disclosures of interest in the matter on hand today? Councillor Moles.
Nil disclosures.
Councillor Cudmore.
Nil disclosures.
Councillor Lobsey.
Nil disclosure.
Councillor Black.
Nil disclosure.
Councillor Hawkins.
Nil disclosure.
Councillor Webster.
Nil disclosures.
General Manager.
No disclosures.
Director of Environmental Services.
Nil disclosure.
Director of Works.
I have no disclosures.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is, let me turn the page over, 4.1, the Draft Combined Delivery Program 2017 through 2021 and the Operational Plan 2021. Before I ask for somebody to remove the recommendation, because we're doing our meeting remotely, I'd like to speak to this. First of all, I'd like to thank the staff and the management team of the organisation for preparing such a good document in such a short period of time and early so that we can carry on with some business of council that we would like to get on with. I'd like to also commend them in the fact that the budget and the plan reflects what council has asked them to deliver. I am aware we are delivering a budget deficit this year, and for the community, I'd like to make it clear what that means. The council will be drawing on reserves to build infrastructure, create employment, and inject some money back into our local economy, as well as using reserves that have been put away for many years for these large projects. It is a significant spend, and we intend on improving those reserves again over the next few years after making this major spend. And I would like to commend the management team and staff for their high level of work done in this. I would like to personally commend the General Manager and the Finance and Executive team yesterday for taking a time out of their day to individually meet with all councillors and go through any concerns or alterations they might have as we're dealing with these difficult times with remote meetings. So after that, I'd like to put the recommendation as it stands. It is pursuant to section 405 of the Local Government Act 1993, place the draft combined delivery program 2017-21 and operational plan 2020-21 contained in Appendix 1 on public exhibition for a period of 28 days. Just before I ask for a councillor to move it, I will explain to the public what this means. It means the draft documents have been presented to the councillors, and the councillors are in a position where they're happy for that to go out to the public for further comment. I would encourage any members of the public that wish to have any input to read this document, understand the document and put any submissions in they feel appropriate, and they will be considered when council meets again to adopt this budget. So could I have a mover of the document, please?
Councillor Black moves.
Thank you, Councillor Black. Could I have a seconder, please?
Councillor Hawkins, seconded.
Thank you, Councillor Hawkins. Do you wish to speak to moving of the document, Councillor Black?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Whilst I'm just going to repeat what I already said this morning, that whilst I totally understand that we don't have a balanced budget and there is an absolute need to be fiscally responsible, I do, however, believe that the risk of the deficit within this budget has been soundly calculated. So this is why I vote to move this draft budget. And secondly, that we desperately need to get our local community fast-tracked, and that this budget, in my opinion, will create jobs and encourage greater investment in our shire. And absolutely, really importantly, that Werris Creek recipients will get their water that they desperately need. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Black. Do you wish to speak to it, Councillor Hawkins?
Nothing to add to that, Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Cudmore, do you wish to speak to the item on the agenda?
No, thank you, Chairman. No, to reiterate what I said before, I think the staff will do we have to trust Joanne and her staff to deliver on what we've decided to do. So I know I have trust in them to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cudmore. Councillor Lobsy, do you wish to speak to it?
No, nothing further to add. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Lobsy. Councillor Webster, do you wish to speak to it?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just sort of reaffirming my concern this morning regards in the past few years we've had deficit budgets. This budget isn't very sort of going to get a lot of support in the community, and looking forward, the budgets are going to be in deficit going forward. And I just don't think we're going to be sustainable unless we actually try and look at a balanced budget going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Webster. Councillor Moles, do you wish to speak to it?
Good afternoon, ratepayers, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Moles. I'd like to speak in favour of the motion, Mr. Mayor, if I may. I'd like to acknowledge the three comprehensive and informative documents, and I'd like to congratulate the General Manager and her team on the presentation of these documents. I'd like to thank them for the opportunity for the clarification to councillors and questions that were asked. and taking in our comments to put forward to the community and as part of the feedback process. I'd like to acknowledge that I understand that this is moving of a deficit budget. However, it is obvious with the money, the many significant essential community-driven projects, that we need to be able to show as a council we can deliver and achieve these projects or goals on time. Long-term benefits for our Shire will outweigh the short-term headaches. I've had all my questions answered and any concerns, if any, were addressed. And everything was taken on board and is to be included in the feedback over the 28-day public consultation period. I'm very confident in moving these, not moving them, in supporting these 3 documents. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Miles. If there's no further question or comments, I'll now put the motion. I have covered all councillors, I think. It's some hard one, I can't see all of you. So, Councillor Webster, how do you vote?
Against?
Councillor Cudmore, how do you vote?
For,
Councillor Miles, how do you vote?
In favour, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Lobsey, how do you vote?
In favour, as long as we do what we can do to reduce costs and increase our income.
Thank you, Councillor Lobsey. It was moved by Councillor Black and Councillor Hawkins, and the Mayor votes in favour. Again, I'm very happy with the work that's been done and understand it's a spending budget to create economic stimulus. So I now declare the motion carried 6 votes to 1, and I thank you for your participation. And there being no further business, I now declare the meeting closed and thank everybody for their participation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, councillors.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.